For now, we strap our bicycles on the roof of this Ulyanovsky Автомобильный завод 452 or UAZ 452. Due to its shape, it is commonly referred to as Bukhanka, meaning loaf of bread in Russian.
We found this particular one by chance in its natural habitat in mountainous Central Asia. Don't let yourself get fooled by its nickname or slightly dated appearance. This rugged retro van has a whole bunch of tricks up its sleeve. Presented with a rare chance to travel in such a unique vehicle, we didn't have to think twice.
Welcome to Osh in Kyrgyzstan. After the Pamirs, we were very exhausted, so we took our time here. And now we are headed towards Jalal-Abad, the next 100 kilometers. We decided to join an amazing solo traveler, Susanne. She offered us to join for this road and we said, why not?
After cycling the remote Pamir Highway for weeks on end, we are not used to heavy traffic anymore. The idea is to skip the stretch of busy main road between Osh and Jalal-Abad, where we want to hop straight back on our bicycles. However,
Und welche Richtung drehe ich den jetzt?
Zu dir.
Oh, wo ist jetzt überhaupt? Das ist jetzt neutral. Das ist neutral. Okay.
so here it's typical. On the left, behind the steering thing, is the clutch. Then there's a brake and a gas pedal.
You hope there's a brake.
I hope there's a brake. Yeah, of course. I mean, this car is basically 1965-ish technique.
Matthias has a thing for driving vehicles that are old and or out of the ordinary. Actually though, this van is almost new and very common, at least in former Soviet republics. We are doing our amazing world Bukhanka tour. What is our name? Amazing World Bike Tour?
Yeah, no, it's the Amazing World
Bukhanka tour, yes.
Okay, first time I'm using the brakes. There is brakes, that is good. So they still build the same car like 60 years ago. Hello. Everyone's like, they are crazy.
On reaching Jalal-Abad, we decide to share the road and Hugo a little longer. We get along well and are all headed for Bishkek, the capital of Kyrgyzstan. Susanne needs to be there by the end of the week and we need to pick up some parcels.
Looking for a camp spot, I struggle to drive up that slope. It's time for Susanne to explain to me how to use Hugo's superpower. Here on soft ground, the issue is lack of traction. It needs a bit of sensitivity to get it engaged, but then the Bukhanka is a proper four-wheel drive.
This ridgeline is the perfect place to stay the night. We will have sun early in the morning and can also enjoy this lovely sunset.
Four by four, all road, breads.
The queen of Bukhanka.
Ah, genau.
While in Kyrgyzstan the altitudes are generally not as extreme as in Tajikistan, it is nonetheless a very mountainous country. We are still feeling the strain of the Pamir Highway and did not particularly look forward to cycling up 2,979 meters Koldomo Pass.
This would have been a tough 2-day climb. Obviously, there have been times, especially struggling up a steep mountain, when we wish to have some kind of motorization. Well, our time has come.
Susanne's Bukhanka is almost new, but despite having superpowers, it is not particularly powerful, and with the camper conversion and our bicycles and us on top, quite heavy. After 60 years of improvements, the 2.7-liter inline-4 petrol engine puts out 112 horsepower. That's not much, but a lot better than the 70 HP of the early models.
Since Mathias enjoys driving the Bukhanka so much and I tend to get sick in vehicles fast, Susanne pretends to enjoy getting shaken all day in the back. The road is quite bad, but so far Hugo does not break a sweat.
Very impressive, to be honest. Very impressive car.
The view is spectacular as we climb more than 2,200 meters above the Fergana Valley. Hugo winds his way up towards the pass one hairpin bend at a time. Only once we briefly use the 4x4.
I'm a bit worried about that flooded section. It is the first time that I drive an off-road vehicle. Susanne says I shouldn't worry.
Okay, apparently this car can go 80 centimeter deep into water, so this was no problem.
Okay, granted. If anything, that was a tiny breakfast for the Bukhanka. To give you an idea, most modern sedans can only weigh about 15 centimeters. A standard UAZ 452 can do 50, but Hugo had some minor modifications done.
As we approach the top at nearly 3,000 meters, it seems clear that absolutely nothing can stop us.
Also Schafe gehören wirklich nicht zu den hellsten Tieren auf der Welt. Sie haben irgendwie Angst vor Bukhanka und deswegen gucken sie jetzt hier alle den Abgrund runter. Die folgen ja einfach immer dem vordersten Tier. Wenn das erste Tier eine dumme Idee hat, machen das alle anderen nach.
The shepherds move their herd to the lower side of the mountain, into the Fergana Valley and closer to Osh. I doubt many will make it through the winter.
Salam alaikum.
It is the end of September and there's already snow up here. Obviously we could have done this with our bicycles, but yeah, getting up here with Hugo was so easy, fast and comfortable. The view is great, but it is also cold and windy.
Wow, auf dem See ist tagsüber sogar eine Eisschicht oben drauf. Einfach gerade ausgefahren hier in der Kurve.
While drunk driving is a massive problem in most post-Soviet countries, it is possible the driver did not see the turn because of the snow.
Like the night before, we again find a wonderful place. On the way down towards Kazarman, we meet more herds coming our way. A little over 100 years ago, Kyrgyz people lived in tribes of nomadic pastoralists. Russian colonization and especially Soviet rule forced them to give up their traditional lifestyle, leading to hardship, famine, rebellion and emigration.
Nowadays, some Kyrgyz try to preserve their history by living in traditional yurts during summer. Unfortunately, we are a tad bit late in the season and the yurts are already packed up.
By the way, while the Bukhanka manages bad roads with ease, do not expect any comfort features. No central locking, no electric windows, no air conditioning and so on. At least there's a windscreen wiper system, and since Hugo is almost brand new, he even features basic ABS, power steering and seat belts. Due to their nomadic heritage and long harsh winters, Kyrgyz cuisine is the opposite of vegan. For the remainder of the day we get slowed down by a seemingly endless supply of organic, free-range prime meat.
Everyone going this way, come on. He's the only black cow in the family and he goes the other way, huh? Guys. Hey, that's not good. That's not good. Nein! Gottes Willen, ey. Hallo!
Say what you want about cycling being slow, but bike touring has a clear advantage in herd-related traffic jams.
However, muddy puddles are way more fun with Hugo. So much fun that eventually Arev also wants to give it a go.
One important thing about the oddities about the Bukhanka is it has two fuel tanks, one on either side of the car. And to make no mess with the fuel, you should fuel up fully on the left side first, and then after that you can pump some fuel on the right side as well. So now let's fuel up the other side as well. On the left is 50 liters and on the right side of the car there's a 25-liter tank, and that tank pumps fuel into the bigger tank all the time. So if you fuel up the right tank first and then the left tank, you will get some fuel spill because it starts pumping and then you fill up at the same time. So always left first, then right side for the Bukhanka.
Echt hat er. Perfekt.
We also buy some petrol for our liquid fuel stove.
We just get this liter.
What is this?
One.
Это
1
что?
liter 92.
92-й?
92-й.
92.
Вы его жена, да?
Да.
With Hugo filled up to the brim, we are good to go again. A Bukhanka typically averages 13 to 16 liters per 100 km on good roads and easily guzzles over 20 in terrain.
Visibility 0.
Arev Mathias.
Balykchy or something like this.
Where is it?
On Issyk Lake, which would have taken us about 4 weeks with the bicycles. We did it 4 days.
Vanlife.
Just like in pretty much all of Kyrgyzstan, we have no difficulties finding a quiet camp spot with a great view on the shore of Issyk, one of the defining geographical features of the country.
It is the second biggest mountain lake and also among the oldest ancient lakes of the world. As India has been bumping into Eurasia for the last 55 million years or so, tectonic folding formed the Himalayas, the Tibetan Plateau, the Pamirs, Tian Shan and, eventually, about 25 million years ago, Issyk Kul.
Slightly muddy.
It is a bit salty, as over 120 streams and rivers flow in, but none out. Despite the harsh winters, it rarely freezes over, leading to the name, which literally translates to warm lake. This is our last evening together with Susanne and Hugo. We make the most of it by sharing dinner, some cold beers and the warmth of the fire.
As most of you know, we usually cycle, and over the course of 11,000 kilometers, we've obviously met the odd camper or van lifers here and there. However, almost none of them make it as far as Central Asia. Susanne is a very rare breed of a tough woman with a big heart, and we are so glad that we met her in Osh.
We thoroughly enjoyed our time with her and of course Hugo. Before we part ways, some notes on the UAZ 452 and van life. One clear advantage is the capacity to effortlessly transport a literal ton of stuff. Not only food and water for days, but also pure luxury like a proper table and bed.
We put our bicycles on the sun terrace on the roof because inside there's not so much space. It's a pretty small car actually. Susanne converted this car, which is ambulance, into a camper van, so obviously in the back she has a bed and a lot of room to store the stuff that she needs while traveling. As you can see, there's not much room in the front, so the engine is actually here in the middle between the two seats. It's getting properly warm here when you drive up a mountain. The UAZ can basically go everywhere because it is a 4x4 drivetrain and obviously it has a very high clearance over the ground.
Hugo even features the optional differential lock, greatly improving traction on slippery surfaces when necessary.
And also it has a slow gear, so it can crawl up every mountain. Really impressive to see how this vehicle managed to go over really bad roads where normal cars would definitely not survive. The design is from the 1960s and they are pretty much built just like that ever since.
I drove it very cautiously, but the internet is full of people going completely nuts with their Bukhankas.
All in all, a lovely car. I did not struggle too much driving it. Obviously it's an old car and the ergonomics are like you would imagine from a 60s car. You sit like this under the steering wheel because it's not high enough and stuff like this. But just look at it. It's amazing.
Do you prefer cycling life or van life?
I like the bicycle because you're so close to nature and the people. There's nothing around you.
Susanne?
I would say I would prefer van life in these countries because you can park it everywhere you want to, and I have a safer feeling in a car than a tent. But if I would decide between motorcycling and a van driving, I would prefer motorcycling. But at night it's more safe in this car.
And would you ever think about cycling?
Never, ever, never, ever, never.
Big plus, I think, for van life is definitely the awesome convenience when you find the spot for the night. You just park the car and hop into your bed and you can sleep. You don't need to build your house in the evening and raise it to the ground in the morning. So I think this is really convenient.
Yeah, it is.
And we did not even mention another major selling point of the Bukhanka yet, the price. Before the start of Russia's full-scale invasion in Ukraine, brand new ones went for less than $12,000 in rubles.
If your heart is on fire now, we must warn you. Due to sanctions and Bukhankas getting blown up by the thousands, buying them new has become next to impossible. That leaves used cars, with good ones setting you back 20 to 25k, easily double the price. However, this is not as outrageous as it might seem. You see, they start to break down the moment they go through the factory doors. To fix the countless quality issues and factory-fitted defects, in other words, to get them into working condition, a lot of time, nerves, expertise and money had to be invested.
We are at the outskirts of Bishkek, as you can see on the density of the traffic and the quality of the air.
We left our bicycles in Balykchy at Issyk. We have to pick up some equipment we ordered from Germany before we can continue cycling. After driving 800 kilometers in 6 days, we arrive in the capital. Bishkek!
They have some serious mountains in the skyline.
Oh my god, these mountains are really high.
Susanne will come back after the winter, but Hugo will stay here in storage. We give him a well-deserved wash before going our ways.
Ah, das tut ihm gut. Wir sehen uns in Indien, okay? Oder in Amerika.
Yeah. We've never traveled in a van for such a long time as 1 week, and I have to say we had a great time with Susanne, and she's an amazing, inspiring woman doing this with that car. But for me, I definitely understood that traveling by bicycle is just something that I enjoy a lot and wouldn't change for all the comfort that van provides. And of course it's nice that you already have the bed and you don't have to worry about the wind and rain and cold. But I need to move, I need to be in the nature, I need to being more approachable and having contact with the locals. I really missed all of that. I have this feeling that we didn't connect, we didn't learn as much about this country as in other cases where we just had the chance to chat with the locals every day for many times.
While we had great fun with Susanne and Hugo, there's only one true way for us. So join us again when we hop back on our bicycles.
We are Arev and Mathias. For over 2 years we have been taking you with us on our amazing world bike tour. In every episode we explore different aspects of our journey and the countries we travel through, in the hope to inspire some curiosity, dreams and vigor along the way.
If you love what we do, here's how you can help.
Subscribe if you haven't already, activate all notifications, watch all episodes to the very end, and of course, like, comment and share them.
You can also join our amazing contributors on buymecoffee.com/aworldbiketour and paypal.me/amazingworldbiketour.
Your support is crucial for our ability to continue making these videos. Thanks for watching. Until next time.
And may the wind be at your back.